guys, Brant here. I don't know if I told you guys the full story of the ZL500, but I bought mine for $200 along with the parts sled, and what came with the parts sled was a spare motor here. Today we're going to be looking at it. In case you're wondering, these come out with the head bolts come out with a 12mm socket. You can just break those loose with a ratchet. I'm not going to torque them down. This is just a quick tear down to see what's good, what's bad. Now, how I'm doing this is just a quick inspection, so I'll turn the torch on. Brought the motor down to bottom dead center. There's a bit of marks in there. They don't look too bad. There's no obvious wear. I can tell you though, there's two different style of pistons. There's one without a mark on it, then there's one with it. I'm not sure which one's. Yes, it's that little dimple right there. I know in cars that's common to mark which side goes towards the exhaust, which it's indicating that here, so I think that's an actual detent put in the casting. But anyways, as I'm going on, at the bottom dead center, minimal scoring, and let's take a look at the piston. I'm using the pull rope and the starter. Now it's at top dead center. We're gonna give a little peek-see in the exhaust port, and it's not that damaged. Now let's look at the other cylinder, the PTO side. In here, doesn't look nearly as bad, except for that little scratch right there. I don't know what will come out and what won't, but it doesn't look like these would have to be machined a lot if they need to be machined at all. Like I was saying before, the piston, I'm not sure if this is the factory piston or this one's the factory piston, but I can tell that they're definitely different. And now let's take a look at. Now I'm going to bring it to top dead center so we can look at it through the exhaust port. Doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little bit worse than the other one, so maybe this one was the factory piston. I'm not quite sure. I didn't look up anything before I dived into this. It does have good compression, but I noticed this O-ring looks bigger, like it doesn't seem to fit, compared to this one over here, which is like perfect. I don't know if this motor's been touched, if somebody went into it. This is all these parts are kind of a mystery. Intake ports, I think somebody was running without an air box for a bit, as you can see by the little dings and scratches down there from debris getting in at high speed. The crank, ooh, I can see the crank through there. Let's see if I can get a. Oh. A little bit of rust from improper storage. Yeah, there's rust, but I'm pretty sure it just wear off. I don't know how thoroughly the guy did the gaskets, so it could have just been coolant dripping down into there. I'm not sure. Moving on to the reeds. Well, the car boots are screwed. There's a couple big cracks. This one It hasn't gone all the way through, but I wouldn't feel comfortable running with it. It's also like deformed too, so I have to bend it back into place. This one, you're not saving that. Moving on to the reeds. All of those seem to be in good order. There's 8 of these holding them in, and they're located right behind the car boots on these engines. The socket you'll need is a 10 mil, and it basically wraps things up. Oh, important thing to add on the head bolts, there's a little O-ring right there. I think that's to keep coolant from leaking out of the bolt hole. Don't quote me on that though. Just make sure you don't rip that up when you pull it out. But anyways, guys,